I have to go upstairs.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the No Name College Football Podcast, episode 2. Short episode this week, not a lot going on. So probably about 20, 25 minutes. We're gonna get through this. Just two things we want to talk about. First off, AP poll dropped. What day was it last? It was last
Last Monday, last Tuesday, something like that.
somewhere in there, last Monday or Tuesday. And so we're just gonna go over it real quick. Start at the bottom. Talk about these other receiving votes. Bunch of teams obviously are gonna receive votes in week 0, week 1, whatever you want to call it. Texas Tech, South Carolina, UCLA, UTSA, Arkansas, Boise State, Pittsburgh, Kentucky, Troy, Louisville, Auburn, Minnesota, Duke, Toledo, Mississippi State, Florida, Baylor, Illinois, Coastal Carolina, NC State, South Alabama, James Madison, Liberty. Were all the teams receiving votes. And then at 25, we had Iowa, 24 Tulane, 23 Texas A&M, 22 Ole Miss, and 21 North Carolina. I know we were just talking about it right before. You want to go ahead and say what you wanted to say about this bottom half that you didn't like?
Yeah, I just feel like Texas Tech should have been ranked. I mean, every poll I've seen this offseason has Texas Tech anywhere from 18 to 25. So, I mean, they're 26 technically, but I think that they should have been in the top 25.
And out by 30 votes, which is kind of a lot, but not too much. I'm trying to think. I don't know how. I know I had UTSA ranked at like 23 or something like that, but I don't think I had any of these other teams receiving votes ranked. I could be wrong on that though, but I can't remember. I mean, not much for me to say on this back end though. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
20 Oklahoma, 19 Wisconsin, 18 Oregon State, 17 TCU, 16 Kansas State. I feel like maybe some people were shocked that TCU was at 17. Me personally, I do feel like it's kind of low considering that even though they got ran in the national championship, they were still in it. They played
Yeah.
a great game with Michigan and beat a good Michigan team too. Won the Big 12 last year. I think 17 is a little bit unfair of a ranking to them. And then Oklahoma at 20, that's the one that just didn't sit right with me, honestly.
It's just too high. I mean, I get that they're Oklahoma, they've got a lot of talent, but that's high for this early, you know what I mean?
I agree. Then we got Kansas State at 16, Oregon at 15, Utah at 14, Notre Dame 13, Tennessee 12, and Texas 11. Uh, I mean, I feel like I had most of these teams in this range somewhere, so I think it's fine with me. Texas got a huge jump, and I understand why, but it's just a little bit too high for me. Even though I don't really know where I ranked them. I don't really remember, but I think it was around 15 maybe. But I don't know. Them being at 11 is a little bit too high for me. Now that I'm thinking about it and like actually looking at it. You guys,
I know I had Oregon in the top 10. That's a big difference that I had.
yeah,
15, I had Oregon at 7 or 8, somewhere in there.
yeah,
But 15, I mean, it's not terrible.
yeah. At 10 we had Washington, 9 Clemson, 8 Florida State, 7 Penn State, and Southern Cal at 6. Again, reasonable, I guess. Florida State's a little bit too high for me. I get why they have the hype around them, but I still think it's a little bit too high for me. I also think Clemson and Tennessee should be kind of grouped together because I feel like they were very even teams last year, and I feel like they're kind of very even teams going into this year too.
Both
Um,
of them had to prove.
but
What
I
sucks
think,
is Florida State. I
yeah,
mean,
I agree. I think a lot of these teams have a lot to prove though. LSU is at 5, understandable. And then the top 4 is kind of the top 4 that everybody kind of expected. Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia being in there.
I think as long as your top 5 is those 5,
Yeah, for sure.
and maybe Penn State, but those 5 are
Yeah.
fine.
Subject. People can argue where these teams should be at, what numbers these teams should be at, but these should be the top 5 teams for sure. And Georgia should be number 1, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I even said that in the last week's video. I think there's no doubt. There's no reason why any team should be ranked above Georgia. I don't care if Michigan got Tom Brady back. Michigan,
Yeah.
I mean, they should still be number 2 or 3. So yeah, that's the AP poll again. Like I said, not much to really talk about.
Not any huge problems with it. It's
Yeah.
fine.
See here, Michigan beat out Ohio State by about 90 votes for second place, but Michigan and Ohio State were the only 2 teams, pretty sure, yeah, only 2 teams that received a first place vote except for Georgia. And Michigan had 2, Ohio State had 1. But moving on, from
Alabama and Ohio State was only 2 votes.
well, yeah, didn't notice that. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't think noticed any other ones that were like really, really. Tennessee and Notre Dame was separated by 5.
Yeah.
TCU, Oregon State by 10. Oklahoma, North Carolina by 4. Wow. And Texas A&M, Tulane by 3. And then Iowa's way down below Tulane by almost 100. But getting through the AP poll, wrap that up. Let's talk about week 0, week 1, whatever you want to call it. There is 7 games this weekend on Saturday, and we're just going to talk about it because that's all there really is to talk about this week. There's only 7 games in Division 1 that are happening. So we're just going to do, if you were a fan of or watcher last year, or if you're not familiar with the format, you were not a watcher last year, how we do this is we kind of go through some games every week, and we just say like, okay, Notre Dame's minus 20.5. We either pick Notre Dame to cover or Navy to cover. It's really simple here. So that's just what we're going to do, kind of talk about these games. And as it gets later in the season, there'll be more to talk about, like this game has this implication, stuff like that. But like I said, it's week 0. There's 7 games. Some of these are absolute toilet bowl games, but it's all to talk about. So we're going to talk about them. Kicking the season off, and kicking it off on Saturday, in Dublin, Ireland. At 2:30, we got Navy, Notre Dame. Again, like we just discussed, Notre Dame is ranked 13th. So a little bit more pressure on their shoulders. Notre Dame is a 20.5 point favorite. I will take Notre Dame to win this game. But 20.5 is a lot to me. And because I have a friend who plays football at Navy, I will take Navy to cover 20.5.
Okay. Well, I think Notre Dame is the debut of Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman's the best quarterback they've had since I don't even know when. I think that they're going to look to showcase him. Now, 20.5 is a lot, especially because Navy's going to look to kill clock and all of that stuff. But I would probably take Notre Dame to cover that, but not by much. I think they win by 21-24.
For sure. Moving on, we got UTEP and Jacksonville State. Probably one of the only 2 times these 2 teams will be talked about on our show this year. But here we are. UTEP is only favored by minus 1.5. Jacksonville State, this is actually a conference game, just moved to the Conference USA. UTEP's been in it for a little while now that I can recall. So I'm going to have to take UTEP to win. And because it's only minus 1.5, I'm going to take them to also cover that minus 1.5.
I'm going to be fun with it. This is Jacksonville State's first game in the FBS. They were in the FCS last year, moving up to FBS level this year, Conference USA. And since they're at home, I will take Jacksonville State.
Yeah, for sure. That's reasonable, for sure. Then we've got
Stinker Bowl right there.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, you called it something on the phone today, the Stinker Bowl or something like that. We've got UMass at New Mexico State. Both, if I'm correct here, correct me if I'm wrong, independents, right? Yeah, because they don't have a conference thing beside their name. New Mexico State is favored by 7. This is a hard one for me to pick. New Mexico State is at home. I think I'm going to take UMass to win. So automatically cover, plus 7 because I win.
I'm going to be honest. I refuse to pick UMass to ever win a football game. So I'll probably take New Mexico State, even though these 2 teams whoever wins, this might be one of 2 or 3 wins this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, we got it kicking up a little bit. We have Ohio Bobcats at San Diego State, the Aztecs. San Diego State is -3. I'm gonna have to take San Diego State in this one, both ways, winning the game and covering -3 against Ohio.
Yeah, I agree with that. San Diego State lately has been a pretty good group of 5.
Hey, Jamie. Oh, what am I up
No.
to? Just visiting a special secret client.
Okay, cool. That happened to me earlier. It scared me so bad. 7:30. We've got Vanderbilt versus Hawaii. This is in Tennessee, not in Hawaii. Vanderbilt is -17.5. I'm definitely gonna have to take Vanderbilt to win. I think I'm gonna have to take them to cover also.
I'm going to do the same. Last year, Vanderbilt beat them pretty good in Hawaii, and I think Vanderbilt's got a little more confidence this year as a team. I think Clark Lee's doing a good job there. So I'll take Vanderbilt to win and cover. Maybe to make a bowl game this year. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Possibility. I think there's a possibility there for sure. At 8 o'clock, Pac-12 Network. In the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, we have my preseason national champion pick, the Southern Cal Trojans, kicking off their season against the San Jose State, Spartans. I'm pretty sure. Is it Spartans or Trojans?
It's Spartans.
Okay, that's what I thought. I had to check on that one. USC is a -30.5 point favorite, which is a lot for me. Obviously, I'm picking Southern Cal to win.
They have to win that game.
Well, yeah, for sure. 30.5 though is just so much to me, but it's not out of the realm of possibility for me either.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go with San Jose State covering though. I think no, I'll take Southern Cal to cover. Yeah.
I'm going to take San Jose State to cover just because I'm not going to believe in Southern Cal's defense until I see it. But I could totally see this game being 56-28, something like that.
For sure. Well,
But-
that's 30 though. It's only
56-28. Yeah, no, it's 28.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay.
It'll be
I could also see the game being like that too, or like 63-30 or something like that. Well, that would be 30. Anyways, and then last but not least, rounding out Saturday and week 0 is another Conference USA matchup with Florida International going down to Louisiana, or going over to Louisiana, I guess, to take on Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech's been pretty, at least decent past couple of years. Winning 7 to 9 games. They are -11.5. Florida International's been in that kind of like below average like tier of college football the past couple of years, in my opinion. I'm gonna definitely have to take La Tech to win this one. And they're gonna be riled up. They're at home. First game of the year. I'll take them to cover -11.5 against Florida International.
I'll be different and pick Florida International to cover, but I agree with you with Louisiana Tech. I think if this game was played later in the year, they'd probably win this game by 11.5. But when it's week 0, week 1, bad teams don't know they're bad. So
Yep. That's true. That's true. I could definitely see like 30-14. Like that's like if somebody asked me predict the score on this game, 30-14 just sits right at the front of my mind.
yeah,
But yeah, that's all. As you see, we got games on Thursday next week. We are recording this on Thursday. I'm gonna upload it tomorrow on Friday. But I mean, we got games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday next week. So, we're gonna have a lot to go over next week. This has been probably our shortest episode by a lot, ever. So, we appreciate y'all's support. We'll be back next week, earlier in the week, probably like a Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, to get those Thursday games in and everything. Same format as always. But yeah, again, we appreciate y'all's support, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out.